What is going on, everyone? We're back again with another video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about MLB The Show 25. Now, before we get into this, I just want to thank you guys for the support in 2024. Never get to thank you guys, so I figured I'd do it in this video. 2024 was one of the best years I probably had in a while. It was very fun to make videos throughout the whole year. I liked it a lot. And I appreciate everyone's support coming through the streams when the game was launched, coming through the streams at the end with the whole draft lottery system, even over the summer. I just really appreciate you guys. All the support on the videos was just insane, so whenever I uploaded, you guys pretty much seem to always be there. So I really do appreciate all the support you guys have for me in 24. Now we're in the new year, so hopefully you guys can continue that support in 25. I would greatly appreciate it. And you know, you guys are just crazy. Like, I'd be looking at some of the comments and some of the chats in the streams, and I mean, I just can't be thankful enough. Hopefully we can get it better in 2025. And I have some things planned as well that you guys will see throughout the year. So that is very exciting. I also did get some new equipment upgrades. I got a new light so you guys can see me better, so I don't look so dark anymore, right? I did get a new webcam. So if it's better quality, let me know in the comments. I'm pretty sure it's better quality. I tried to fine tune it as best I could. So pretty sure it's a lot better than the old one. There are already some new changes, as you guys can see, but let's get right into this article. That's why you guys clicked on the video. MLB The Show 25, new details about the upcoming game that will excite fans. Now this comes out from Brian right here from Forbes. Been covering this game since 2011, so there you go. So as he goes on to say, MLB The Show fans, there is promising news about MLB The Show 25, which is great to hear. And I just want to say we haven't heard anything since the official MLB The Show team came out and said a couple things about the game, nothing crazy. This is kind of the first thing we're getting in the new year about the new game. He has talked to the team, which we're going to see in a minute. So I've been looking into many potential sources as possible to find details about the upcoming game based on everyone I've spoken with at Sony San Diego. So it didn't say San Diego Studios, Sony San Diego. So it's a little bit different, I'm pretty sure, but we'll continue. As they have not dismissed the criticism it has received from the community after MLB The Show 24, which is good because that game wasn't the greatest in my opinion. I think there were a lot of flaws with the Dynasty and stuff, the packs and programs and things like that. And there were also other problems with franchise and Road to the Show, which he does talk about, which is pretty cool. So let's keep reading as we have. One source told me that SDS heard it loud and clear, and MLB The Show 25 will be designed to feel like a fan-appreciative version of the series. Now, this is all good news, right? This is all good news. We gotta see how this actually develops when the game actually drops. Hopefully, it's the best game that we have, right? I think the best game we've had in a while, probably like 1920 maybe. I don't know, I feel like those games did a lot of things right. So let's get into the big talking points about the release. Now the release is always kind of mid-March, late April, right? That's kind of the release. I'd expect to see MLB The Show 25 release in the third week of March, probably March 21st, with early access potentially starting on March 18th. So that is pretty early, I'm not gonna lie. This would be consistently with previous years and aligns with the timetable everyone I've talked to. So there you go. I think that is pretty accurate. Hey, March 21st is a Friday, so that would make sense. And then the 18th would be on a Tuesday. Pretty much how they done stuff, so that would be in line and that would make sense. But I feel like the release date's always kind of around that time, so I mean, we'll wait and see on that stuff, but nothing crazy so far. But here we go with the Road to the Show stuff. Road to the Show fans, this looks like the year when you guys finally get some significant upgrades, which is definitely big, to the show's single player career mode. So this is really good. From what I've heard, the pre-major experience will be greatly enhanced and there will be major payoffs throughout the revamped experience. So, you know, there's a lot of big words there, right? With these pre-major experiences, obviously before you get to the big leagues, right? And then major payoffs throughout the revamped experience. So if it's revamped, I mean, that is good. I'm the old system, not a big fan of. The only thing I hope they keep the combine. I think the combine was great. I think you should just be able to get higher in the whole position. There was a couple guys on the Reddit that said they were like 4 for 4 home runs in all the expedition games and even in those batting practices, and the feeling they were incredible. And the highest they got was like the second round. So I feel like you should be able to still be a first round pick in my opinion. And then significantly upgrades. I hope that means a lot because recently it hasn't been good, and hopefully they've upgraded things. I hope they go back to the point system. Maybe there's a new shot, maybe there's new things. Kind of hope they get rid of the program system. There's a lot of things they need to tweak in that mode, so hopefully they're getting it right this year. So here we go, MLB The Show 25, deeper offseason features in franchise mode. Now this is pretty interesting. MLB The Show's franchise mode isn't as bare bones as some critics have made it out over the years. While it is still easily behind NBA's 2K's approach, it has consistently been better than Madden's franchise mode throughout EA deliver their massive upgrade for Madden 25. I'm told the show's 25 franchise will see significant improvements to the offseason features, particularly regarding contracts, trades, free agency, and more. We'll see what this ends up being. So yeah, I think I think for franchise, I think the contract system, I feel like it's good. I feel like maybe they might be adding, the whole deferred money situation, we have with the Dodgers and the Mets and those couple teams, right? I feel like maybe they could be adding that, or just more options when you give a guy a contract, because right now you get the money, the years, and then if you want front loaded or back loaded, if you can make that player a star. That's really it. And I guess for pitchers, you have a bullpen player or starting pitcher when it comes to signing those guys. But that's pretty much it. It's pretty bare bones, I guess you could say, now thinking about it. Trades is another interesting one. Maybe we'll do 3-team trades eventually. I think that's a big feature. I think 3-team trades would be really cool because we set up with Tommy Edman, right? Obviously played extremely well in the postseason. He was in that 3-team trade with the Cardinals and with the White Sox, so maybe they could add that in. The free agency is a little bit interesting. I like the free agency, but we'll see what ends up happening with that. But me personally, I don't have a problem with the free agency. They've improved the free agency system, I guess you could call it, in college football, where players have certain preferences on location, how good the team is, all that stuff. Maybe they're adding that stuff in to make it more in depth. We'll wait and see. But definitely some positive things, I think, in franchise to add. There we go. MLB The Show 25 new legends. Think late 90s, early 2000s. So here's what they're going to say. This is actually, it's pretty interesting about this article. It started with Sammy Sosa and Mark McGwire being added to the game now, and more sluggers and pitchers from the late 90s and early 2000s are appearing, making it into the game. Baseball seems to be moving toward forgetting the legends of the steroid era, which, I think was a phenomenal era. From what I've heard, Nomar Garcia-Paula and Roger Clemens have a great chance of being included, though that could change. I mean, that's huge, right? I mean, Roger Clemens, has been a great pitcher his whole career, so that would be very exciting. They also go on to mention Alex Rodriguez and Manny Ramirez were mentioned as well. I mean, you get those legends in. Manny Ramirez has been a phenomenal player. Alex Rodriguez, another phenomenal player, right? That would be insane if those guys were added to the game. Many are waiting for Barry Bonds to be added. There was some buzz around it because he was returning the Topps with autographic cards in 2025. So that is true. That is happening. But he goes on to say, no one I spoke could confirm Bonds' inclusion in MLB The Show 25. My fingers are still crossed on this one. Now, I personally think Barry Bonds is going to be added later. I think he's definitely eventually going to be added to these games, but I don't think it's going to happen like in this game. I think you need to wait a little bit down the road for him to be added, because he's going to be returning to all these things. He had a big player rights issue. That's why he couldn't be in the games. There was a ton of issues with him being in these games, but I think eventually he'll definitely be in the game. I don't think this year, but if we get some of those legends like Clemens, Rodriguez, and Ramirez, I think that'd be phenomenal. And the last two things he goes on to say is more Negro League storylines and legends. This is pretty obvious. They've said this multiple times. STS has leaned heavily grateful into the Negro League's representation over the past two versions. The Negro League players and ballparks have seamlessly into Diamond Dynasty and offline modes. I was assured that Negro League's legends and storylines are returning for MLB The Show 25, so it's something we already known. Storylines is interesting though, because I'm very curious to see what storyline we have in the game. We obviously just had the Jeter storyline, that was it, and then we had the Negro League. So wait and see what other storylines they have. I think now this whole storylines thing is going to be in the game, it's going to be interesting to see if we get players, if we get teams maybe, or we get a certain playoff run, for example. Maybe we get a playoff run from years ago that happened, right? Maybe we get a famous playoff run. I don't know, wait and see on that. Like me, I would love to see a 2016 Cubs playoff run, right? With all the guys giving interviews and stuff. I think that'd be pretty cool. We'll wait and see if it's just another player, but very exciting. The Negro League is coming back. Obviously, they've said that multiple times. Season 3 is on the way in 2025. And the last thing he goes on to say, tons of new packs and concepts coming to Diamond Dynasty. So concepts is interesting. We'll talk about that. I wrote about a new pack concept STS has considered for Diamond Dynasty in MLB The Show 25. Based on what I've heard, STS is committed to fixing what ailed the mode in 24, layering it with mounds of content for 2025. So this is very good. If it all goes plan, MLB The Show 25 will serve as an example of how consumers can help shape the product they purchase and play annually. Now, I think this is good. I think there was a lot of problems with MLB The Show 24 with the whole Diamond Dynasty mode. We've talked about that before on the channel before in multiple videos. But, if they go back to more programs, right, less packs, new legends, right, I feel like that could fix the game a lot. I know a lot of people want a new ranked mode, so that could be definitely something they look into. Because I think people are getting sick and tired of the whole ranked seasons thing and how that operates. So maybe they get some new modes. I don't know. We'll wait and see what Diamond Dynasty has to store for us, but that's not going to come out until the game probably comes out. But what do you guys thought about this article? I think a lot of interesting talking points with what's changing with the modes. They know storylines is coming back. We're getting new concepts in Diamond Dynasty, which is really cool. We got new legends coming back, right? We've obviously got franchise improvements We have a whole Road to the Show improvements, and the game's supposed to come out in late March. So a lot of positives to talk about here. But with that being said, what are you guys most looking forward to in MLB The Show 25? We're obviously going to be covering the whole game, all the details we get about this game until the launch, and then we'll be streaming it, playing it, all that good stuff. So if you guys want to subscribe to the channel, that's what we're going to be doing over here. Anytime we get a new story like this, we'll be covering it on the channel. And I did tweet about this earlier on because this did come out the 31st. I tweeted about it right when it came out. So if you guys want to follow me on Twitter, first link top of the description. I'll pop it up on screen right here. Make sure you guys go follow me for all the updates and all the early stuff over there. But that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, everyone.